first school for children with intellectual disabilities opened 70 years ago. And in the last 40 years, we've evolved to support adults with intellectual disabilities to pursue employment, community opportunities, and to have a safe home to live in. In 2021, the original school came to be called the Winford Stewart Center for Community Inclusion. It's actually home of 3 not-for-profits. So Winford Stewart, of course, Adaptabilities, actually 4. I'm learning how to count. ABC, Head Start, and Community Options. So I want to acknowledge our partners in the building. And just a little bit more about Winford Stewart. We collect over 7 million bottles a year to support our cause. So we're super excited about that. We do that with our partner, Roper Bottle Depot. Today, you're standing in Joey's home. And so a little bit about, obviously, Joey Moss doesn't need an introduction. He's a bit of a celebrity. But to Winford Stewart, Joey Moss was just Joey. And what I mean by that is he was our friend, our neighbor, our roommate, and he's very missed. He lived with Winford Stewart here until his death a few years ago in 2020. For more than 3 decades, Joey Moss supported the Edmonton Oilers and the Edmonton Elks, and he was an amazing role model, and his legacy serves as a call for action for all people, people with intellectual disabilities included, to have a voice, a choice, and a place to belong for their entire lives. So you're standing in Joey's home. It's actually a memory care center. So it supports folks with intellectual disabilities and dementia-related challenges. And the house is named in Joey's honor. So today, I'm very, very pleased to introduce Minister Nixon. So I just want to say a little bit about Minister Nixon, if that's okay.
There's nothing little.
Oh, that's true. I don't know if you guys noticed how tall I am today. So a little bit about Minister Nixon. So Minister Nixon's government, under the leadership of Nixon, this government, and Danielle Smith, Premier Danielle Smith, is the first government in about a decade to really invest in giving our disability support workers a very well-needed raise. And this is huge. So just a round of applause for that. We have over 15,000 disability support workers in this province, so the investment by the government of Alberta was really, really, really well needed. Nixon also issued a ministerial order this week to declare the week as dedicated to appreciating disability support workers. And it means a lot that you're visiting us here during that week of the ministerial order, and we're very pleased to introduce you here today. Thank you.
You know, everywhere I go, they got to bring an extra stool to help those who help me. I apologize. It's the way my mom made me. And for those of you who I have not had the pleasure of meeting before, I'll quickly answer the question that's on all your mind, and that's, how tall is that guy? I'm 5'20", so when you figure that out, let me know. Most of you already probably figured out the math pretty quick, but that's 6'8", and I'm really happy to be here with you guys all this morning. First of all, I think given that we're in Joey's house, there better not be anybody but Oilers fans, but why don't we give a round of applause to the Oilers last night for clearing that series. I'd like to, of course, also thank Winford Stewart Association for hosting us today. Thank you for having us here this morning. And, just take a moment to thank all of you, everybody within your organization, your board, your staff, everybody that has been involved, donors, and on, that have made this organization work for as long as they did. Thank you for all the work that you do right here in Edmonton, ultimately to really empower and inspire people with diverse abilities in our community. I think that's very important, and I want you to know we appreciate that and celebrate that work this week, as you mentioned. We're also here, though, to celebrate the enduring legacy of a true Edmonton icon, in my view, and I think in most of yours, and that, of course, is Joey Moss, who was a longtime resident of this home that we're in today. He was also, in my view, a symbol of dedication, enthusiasm, and truly the Edmonton and Alberta spirit. And, of course, he shared a special bond with a pretty iconic guy, the great one himself, right behind my head, actually, Joey and him, a legend, Wayne Gretzky, who immediately recognized Joey's passion. And for over 3 decades, Joey touched the hearts of fans, players, and staff with his infectious positivity and his commitment to the game. I always remember when he would come and visit us at the legislature before games, when he was still with us. We just always enjoyed seeing him up there in the speaker gallery. But Joey truly was more than just a figure around sports. He was a champion of people with disabilities and a beloved member of Edmonton's community. Despite facing challenges as a person with Down syndrome, Joey never let it define him. He used his platform to raise awareness for individuals with disabilities, to break down barriers and foster acceptance and understanding of people with diverse abilities. And today I'm excited to announce the Government of Alberta wants to build on Joey's legacy right here. Through our Affordable Housing Partnership Program, Alberta will be investing $340,000 to the Winford Stewart Association to build permanent supportive housing here in Edmonton. This investment will create 5 new units at Joey's House Mindful Hearts Memory Care Centre, which has provided essential services for Albertans with diverse abilities since 2007. This funding will also support necessary renovations to make sure more units are available in this facility. In total, Joey's Home will provide 17 specialized housing units for aging adults with intellectual disabilities. Yeah, absolutely. Round of applause. By investing in projects like Joey's Home across the province, we're ensuring that Albertans with diverse abilities have access to safe and affordable places to call home and to recognize their unique needs in the affordable housing crisis that we face as a country. Right here where we're at is more than a place to live. It's an environment where Edmontonians with diverse abilities have access to supports that they need to live fulfilling lives. This funding is part of our Affordable Housing Partnership Program. The latest round that I announced was $66 million, which we are investing with partners across the province in 8 other projects, creating 450 new units of affordable housing. And it's only a small part of the work that we're doing when it comes to creating more housing in Alberta. We're making significant investments in increasing our stock all across the province through measures like capital grants, support for housing providers, the removal of property tax on affordable housing, and rental assistance programs. We're investing over $9 billion between now and 2031 to create 25,000 more affordable homes across the province. We're continuing to invest in rent supplements with a $250 million investment, which we just increased to be able to make sure that we can help Albertans deal with the rent crisis. We also have increased our budgets for our affordable housing providers by 40%, and the largest investment by any Alberta government in history, recognizing the uniqueness of the role that our housing providers, like one we're in today, have to provide before we can achieve our goals, and the fact that they are just as impacted by inflation and the increasing costs that we see across the province. We've made important progress here in our province to meet our housing needs, and we're going to keep working very hard to make sure that we continue to lead the rest of the country when it comes to affordability. And we can't do that, though, without working closely with our nonprofit providers like Winford Stewart Association, who offer Joey a home and an environment to thrive. And we can, together, I know that we can make sure that Albertans have access to the supports, the services, and the homes that they need to be able to do that. In conclusion, I want to remember Joey Moss not only as an Edmonton legend, but also as a beacon of resilience and compassion. And through projects like Joey's Home, we will keep his memory alive. And I know his family is with us today. I just want to thank you on behalf of Albertans for sharing Joey with us all those years, and truly know that he was an inspiration to us, and his work continues. Thank you very much.
So maybe someone can tell me what song was usually played when there was So obviously the Edmonton Oilers, in loving memory of Joey, when there is a win, play La Bamba, which we had playing earlier today. And so for Winford Stewart today, this is a big win. We're super, super grateful. I just wanted to provide a little bit of history of Joey's House, if that's okay. It was opened in 2007. It was originally supporting 8 residences. And then we had a bit of a fire and then a bit of a flood in 2021. And then we decided to invest in converting it from 8 units to now 17 units of specialized supportive housing. And that supportive housing is obviously supporting folks with intellectual disabilities and dementia-related challenges. So we're super excited by that. It allows us to finish this project, this funding. And so we're super, super grateful. One of the core values at Winford Stewart is that we build community, one connection at a time. Community really matters. We know that community is the elixir. It's really a social safety net. And so today I wanted to make sure that we had a chance to acknowledge some of the people in the room and the community that came out to support this and crowded in here today. So I'm going to start with many of the individuals that either lived in Joey's home or live in one of our other 8 homes. And so I'd like to just call out their first names, and if they feel comfortable, they can wave. So we'll start out with mentioning that Judy and Ken are here. Awesome. There's quite a few names here. Helen and Allison. Oh, hey, hello. Misa and Ron.
Right over there.
Hey, buddy. How's it going? Do you want to say hello?
Hello, everybody.
Good to see you. Thank you, Ron. Craig. Is Craig here? Bev? Oh, hey, Bev. Hi. Marie and Kevin? Only Marie made it? Lori and Gracia. Okay, thank you so much. So there's other folks in the room that we want to acknowledge. Really, since Joey's Home has been open since 2007, there's the early history of Joey's Home where many people support it, and then there's the recent history. So part of the supporters of Joey's Home was Joey's Home Trust, which was established in 1988 by our hockey legend Wayne Gretzky. So there was a number of golf tournaments that helped support the opening of homes that support folks with intellectual disabilities. Daytona Homes was a big supporter of the original build of this project. Homeward Trust made an investment in that as well. Crawford Construction has done some of the recent renos. So if you get a chance today, we'd love to tour you around upstairs and in the basement, because you're going to see some of the dollars at work there and really making a beautiful home. ACI Architecture, so thank you for being here, and GEC Architecture are both architectural firms that helped with this project. Really excited to have the Moss family here as well. So we have Adam Walkner here. Thank you for being here. We have Patty Walkner. Thank you for being here. And I'm not sure if Susie made it, but we're happy that she was trying to get here. The Edmonton Oilers and the Edmonton Elks have been big supporters of Winford Stewart and keeping the legacy of Joey Moss alive today. Really, truly, some of the support that these folks have offered have helped us to convert that legacy into a call for action. And that's really, really important. And then, of course, we have individual donors in the room. One such donor is Madeline Royer. Just wave there. Big supporter of this project, and we're very grateful for you as well. Also would love to acknowledge that Ken Kowalski, former Speaker of the Legislative Assembly of Alberta, is here, and a longtime supporter of Winford Stewart. So, hey, Ken. Stan Fisher. Stan is a long-time supporter of Winford Stewart. His daughter went to school here, and he's continued to support this. Also a leader in our community. He's now retired, but he still gives me some of the best advice that I receive as CEO. So thank you for that. Andrea Hesse, from CEO of Alberta Council of Disability Association, sends her regrets, but she was very excited about this project, so we're happy that we have the support of ACDS. They do such a great job of working in partnership with government to advance this cause. So thank you for that. We also cannot go without mentioning the big win last night. Rather nail-biting win in period 3 there. We do want to do a shout out to our friends at Sea Change that are here. So Zach Hoffner and Jay Sparrow. So, you know, there's so many supporters of Winford Stewart. Sea Change has also been a big supporter. They've released a special Joey Moss beer that you'll see at the food, and $1 from each pack that's sold goes back to Winford Stewart to support advancing employment opportunities for folks with diverse abilities. So we're really grateful for that as well. And I'm going to just give the final word to our chair, Gord Rajowski, to come up and say thank you. And then we're hoping you can join us for tours and some refreshments. Thank you.
Thanks to everyone for being here. This is awfully tall. It's not as tall as Minister Nixon, but thank you everyone for making it out today. My duty today is to basically extend thanks on behalf of the board and the family at Winford Stewart. I also wanted to just briefly say the investment that the Alberta government is making in Winford Stewart is in good hands. We have a tremendous team full of passion, and our family in Winford Stewart is the reason why we are able to continue on through 70 years. And we are tremendously blessed with a fantastic team, a great CEO, a fantastic management team, and the tireless efforts of all of the staff that work here in support of our community. So I just wanted to mention that to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes the formal section, and we can now move on to questions and answers. When called upon, please list your name, your organization, and we'll restrict questions to one question and one follow-up. Does anyone have any questions? Go ahead.
Thank you. Darcy Robchan, City News. My first question is for Emily. You spoke a lot about Joey's legacy, and I was just wondering if you could say some words just about what it was about Joey that endeared him to Edmontonians and how important his legacy is for drawing attention to projects like these.
Would it be okay if I invited a member of the Joey Moss family?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Adam or Patty?
It's in between. Can you repeat the question, sorry?
Just about Joey's legacy, what do you think it was that endeared Joey to Edmontonians, and how important is he to draw attention to projects like this? And sorry, just how are you related to him?
Sure, I'm Joey's nephew, Adam Walker. Joey was just a hardworking person. He every day woke up and gave love, worked hard, went, it get terrifying up here. I wasn't expecting that. Sorry. I truly just believe that Joey just was such a kind, gentle person, and he gave so much hope to everybody else to, just to keep his head down and love and, just be Joey, I guess. It's a tough one to answer.
Sorry, can I get one more follow-up for him and one for the minister? Is that all right? I just wanted
Sure, that's fair, yeah.
I just wanted to ask what goes through your mind last night on a win like that, obviously seeing all this positive attention around the team, seeing still this love that the fans just have for Joey. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it just reminds me of how Joey would be right in there high-fiving the guys and, just cheering louder than anybody else and singing O Canada.
Minister Nixon, it's unrelated. I wanted to get your response to the NDP's claims today that the province knew about the motel medicine issue 2 months before it happened. Your response to that and just where your ministry is at with vetting these care providers?
Well, I mean, it's an outrageous allegation and not factual. The reality is that between the Department of Health and the Department of Seniors Community Social Services, we're dealing with tens of thousands of Albertans that would be leaving hospital and going into different agencies that we partner with each and every day. The challenge with Contentment Social Services is that they were caring for people inside apartments. Somewhere along the line, they made a very bizarre decision, not in consultation with government, to uproot those people, take them to multiple different hotels, and not care for them. And that's why we have several investigations, some within my department, some within the Department of Service Alberta as far as consumer protection, elder abuse investigations, fraud investigations taking place, as well as the public trustee looking to see what exactly took place there, and to be able to make sure that people are held accountable for what they may or may not have done wrong. And I'm not going to speak to the results of those investigations until it's complete. It'd be inappropriate of me to do so. But we have also started to take action immediately, as we've been clear with. It's why my department is now working very closely with health when it comes to complex discharge. We will be making sure that in the future, Alberta Health Services does not list organizations that have not already been certified in some way by either my department or Minister LaGrange's department. I should put a caveat to that we won't be trying to go into the world of managing landlords that way, but any organization where they are providing housing plus something, it will be where we will put forward a regulatory regime, which I think is imminent, and we'll have more to say about that at the time. But look, the reality is that the government had no idea that these individuals had been moved to a hotel. The provider who did that was wrong. My department and my assistant deputy ministers themselves were going hotel to hotel to try to find those individuals. They located them. They took immediate action. And all those individuals are safe inside their own apartments right now, and we're keeping a close eye to make sure that they will continue to be okay.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Miriam with CTV.
Do you need the stool?
Yes, I do. Sorry. Miriam with CTV. I also have a follow-up to my colleague's question in regards to that investigation. Why is the company allowed to continue providing care while this is ongoing? And do you have any timeline of when those investigations will be complete?
I don't have a timeline for the investigations in front of me. Again, we called for those investigations. All three ministers that are involved use their ministerial power to create that investigation, but we don't investigate. Otherwise, it would be, inappropriate. And so I think that we're probably getting close to hearing those results. I have asked for an update based on the press conference earlier today, so that we might be able to update you soon. But I don't intend to step on the investigators' toes. I want them to do their job. And actually, you asked the first part. I got stuck on investigations, but.
Yes, and I was also asking why the company is allowed to continue operating.
So to be clear, it's not a matter of allowed to continue. Contentment Social Services, it does not receive a contract from the Alberta government, never have. They are not a contract provider by the Alberta government. The individuals that were staying in Contentment Social Services were almost predominantly on AISH, and through their families and other aspects, just chose to enter into contractual arrangements with Contentment Social Services. And that is a challenge that we recognize from that process, is that there is no regulatory regime once you leave continuing care and or health care where there is a regulatory framework. And so that's what will be coming forward in the next few weeks with a regulatory framework. And then I expect at that point, Contentment will not be able to provide those services. But right now, we have no direct control over Contentment Social Services. I do want to stress that, though. There are no contracts with the Alberta government with this organization, and there was no contracts with them at the time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? If there are no further questions, then thank you all for coming out. It was great to see you, and have a great rest of your day.
Hey, we don't usually get a crowd like this at a press conference, so round of applause.